Do you want to support me while also getting some cool WWE swag? Well, now you can, because I am an affiliate of WWEshop.com. Just head to the link in the description of this video, click that little bad boy, and it will bring up WWE Shop. Purchase as normal, whether it's shirts, whether it's championship titles, whether it's memorabilia, anything you want on WWE Shop, as long as you use my link, because doing so will give me a commission off your purchase. Therefore, you can support me and rep the WWE's latest swag all throughout their shop. So just head to the link in the description of this video, purchase as normal, and you're also supporting me. I got in first.
Yes.
Even if it's just yelling.
Back.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back.
Welcome. Last time on Apples to Oranges, a lot of shit was talked. The end.
That's basically the premise every week. You could say that every week.
Still to come.
Some
a
trash.
lot of shit will be talked.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that right?
I want to open up, before we get started, on a question that divided my office today. And I want your opinion, and I want you to tell me if you've got the right answer. Because there is a right answer. How many holes does a straw have?
One.
A drinking straw.
One.
Yes, correct.
Because the hole at the top is a singular tube that goes all the way down. There's just two ends.
Yes, that's right. It's one
There's
hole
two
with
openings
two
of the
ends.
same. Yes, it's one hole with two ends.
Mm-hmm. Correctly.
So it's the same. It's the same hole.
Correct. Yeah.
Do people think that's two holes?
Yeah. We literally had an argument
Those people
today.
are wrong. Those people are wrong.
We literally had an argument today. They got to the end of it and they were like, okay, all right, I get your point. It's one hole with two ends. Yep. Okay. But you never thought you'd Google today what defines a hole?
Well.
Yeah, I think I've searched weirder stuff, but it's certainly up there.
Oh, me too, but yeah, right. It's anyone who thinks that's two holes isn't to me, that is not an opinion-based thing. You're right or you're wrong, and those people are wrong.
That's right. I would ask you how your weekend's been, but we spent a whole weekend together, basically.
Yes, it was terrible.
Wow, hurtful.
No, it was great. We went to the basketball together, and I had a great time. You had a headache, but I had a great time.
I still had a good time.
Yeah,
I don't let a headache get the better of me. I also have to apologize to your mum, who I almost showered with water because she said something not funny that I just found funny.
Wasn't
out
funny.
of nowhere.
Yes,
and
Ray met my mum.
Yeah.
So my mother, by the way, I'm going to call her out on this podcast, this little dirtbag liar. So she goes to me on Friday. She's like, oh, you're going to the basketball tomorrow? And I go, yeah, Mum, I am. And she goes, we are too. And I'm like, cool. Might see you there. And she goes, no. No, I won't see you there. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, well, I'm courtside. Oh. And I was like, all right, living large, no worries. My mum, my stepdad, and my little brother. I'll just sit up in the nosebleeds, no problem. Anyway, so we get to the basketball. I had kind of told Ray and my bestie that I was like, listen here. I was like, my mum's sitting courtside. Bleh. All you two little shits wanted to sit. You were like, oh, we ran into your mum. I just want to meet your mum. Like, that's all we want from this experience tonight. I want to meet Josh's mum.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, we won't because she's courtside. So I take a photo of where we're at in the entertainment center, and I'm like, send it to my mum, like, here's my seats, cool. She sends me back a picture of a very similar location. It ain't that far from us, and I'm like, I'd just like to inform you that you are not courtside.
To be fair,
my girl.
It was all in the order of the wording because she was on the side of the court. She just wasn't courtside.
Okay. I thought it was Ray and Josh who were friends. I didn't realize it was Ray and Nicole, you know? All right. Here, Nicole. All right. So anyway, we're walking out of this. We had a great time. Energy was great. First ever basketball game for me. undefeated when I'm watching the Adelaide 36ers. Just like to point that out there. Was great. Singing along, having a good time. We're walking out. We're trying to dart out. And then I'm like, hold on, everyone. Stop the buses, basically, because I see my stepdad, my mum, and my little brother. Anyway, my mum, all she said, Ray, when you spat water all over my mother, was something about like, oh, I can't hear because the music was too loud or some bullshit like that. And I was like, what? Wasn't even trying to be a joke. She was just stating a fact. Like, I even made a joke and Ray didn't even acknowledge it. I was like, it's because you're old. And she was like, what? But yeah, so Ray and my bestie did meet my mother, and I can pretty proudly maybe isn't the word, horrified that my friend spat on my mother.
I didn't mean to. And I'd just taken a mouthful of water because I had a throbbing headache, as you said. And I was like, just trying to get rid of this thing. I was soldiering through because, you know, it takes more than a headache.
What a trooper, by the way. Good work.
Takes more than a headache to keep a good man down. I've been through worse. You don't have a stroke and then get stopped by a headache.
True.
So I as we were walking out, your bestie said to me, geez, I think I'm getting old. I can't hear from all that loud music. And then when we walked out, I took a mouthful of water and your mum was like, oh gosh, I can't hear. And it made me think like of her saying, oh, I'm so old, I can't hear. And then your mum was like, oh, I can't hear. The music was too loud. I was like, just came out.
I just looked over and I was like, are you okay? Like, do you need assistance? Then we just walked off, and that was that, because my stepdad was like, we're out of here. I was like, all right, I won't stop you. But yeah, so well, thanks for being an absolute soldier then there, Ray, and just powering through that headache, just, you know.
Yeah.
I think at one point during the game, I was just bobbing along, singing along to all the music, and I looked at you two and I said, holy shit, I'm quite the fuckhead, because I realized how much of a fucking idiot I am. But man, I had a good time. That was a grand old time.
Yeah, the basketball's fun. It's a good time had by all, for family and or friends.
Not for that small baby that was there. That wasn't a good time. That person that just had a very, very small infant, and I'm like, you didn't even have headphones on that infant. That should not be here.
You might be shocked by this, but I didn't see a small baby.
Me and my bestie were having a good old yarn about it, because we were like, what the fuck's going on over here?
I'm so oblivious to things around me sometimes. I'm just like, eh.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't notice. There could be a fire to the left of Ray, and if Ray's looking right, there was no fire.
No. I just stir my own chili. I don't worry about putting my spoon.
Did you just say the words, stir your own chili?
Yeah.
What in the fuck are you talking about?
I say it to Rory all the time, and every time he looks at me like, huh?
I wonder why.
Because I'm always like, when he's like, what are they doing? What are they doing? I'm like, mate, just stir your own chili. Don't put your spoon in someone else's chili. Don't stir someone else's chili. Just stir your own chili.
I am so gone with this. I'm like, okay. So anyway, yeah, we spent the weekend together. We had a nice meal in a very hot place, I will say. It was very hot.
Good meal. Hot place.
Yeah, and it was very healthy. The meal that we had.
Vegetable.
Very healthy.
It had vegetable. Protein. Oil. Cheese. All the major food groups.
Yeah. It was... we had the same thing, didn't we?
Yeah, me, you, and friend of the show, Benny Mac from the Project.
Benny Mac.
All ordered the same thing separately, but it was like, also we did it on our phones, like QR codes, scan the phone, and then ordered. So it was like, we didn't really even know that we were ordering the same thing until it all came and we got the same thing.
Yeah, and it was a good freaking time. Also, homeboy waiter come up to us and was like, hey, I can't do table service because the party is too big.
If my God, there was 5 the bill.
But it was 5 people.
Well,
Is that a big party? I didn't think that was a big party.
Depends what for.
I guess so. But yeah, it was a good time. And then that was basically about it. Apparently I just summoned bad weather because
yeah,
every time I go to Ray's house, it's just thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
So whatever, I guess. But yeah, we hung out for the weekend and then we're going to do it again in a week and a half.
Yeah, that reminds me. I've got to book those tickets. Do you want to do the question first, or do you want to hear a story of like what I've noticed? Let's do the question first.
Let's do the question because we'll forget.
Yes, correct. 207 is the number.
207. I have a song ready to sing. Do you want me to start singing? That's probably not a good idea.
This one's too much like the one we did the other week.
Okay.
So I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
308. Let's go down there.
Wow. 308.
What was the last thing you did that gave you childlike joy? Childlike joy.
Probably going to the basketball because I could just go like, wow, this is fun. Made you feel like a kid because you didn't really think about anything else.
Yeah, I can see that. That's not bad.
That's pretty much.
I'm trying to think. Gave me childlike joy. I find that's what wrestling gives me. I know we...
Yeah, it does. I was going to say that too.
I know we tiptoe around it because we don't want to be a wrestling podcast because that's not what we're trying to achieve here. But that, for me, that's why I love wrestling so much because it gives me that fun. It's unconsequential, if you know what I mean. Like, there's no ramifications. There's no... It's just fun. It's silly. It makes you feel like a kid again. Like,
no, that's exactly why I love. There's moments of wrestling where I'm just like, oh, I feel like I'm 10 because I don't care about anything else that's going on.
Yeah,
I just want to watch what's on my television. It's probably why me and you mesh so well. The underlying part of our friendship is that, well, if all else fails, we can just talk about wrestling.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we've got that because wrestling people will know this. Some people have opinions on wrestling. Some people love wrestling. Some people hate it. Some people kind of know it. But when you get two people together that really know wrestling, it's hard for them not to be friends.
Yeah. There's something sort of like... I was listening to Adam Copeland of Edge fame today.
Oh.
And he was saying...
That was me doing the Brood thing, by the way.
And
that's not great.
What was it? I got sidetracked then and I forgot my point of it.
Because I stuck my tongue out, sorry.
I was like a little bit thrown by that. But as a kid, not so much as a kid, but he was sort of pointing out that he was a wrestling fan as a kid after Hulkamania and it wasn't as popular. So he was a little bit ostracized from the rest of everyone else because he was a wrestling fan. And I feel like a lot of wrestling fans have that where it's like, especially a 33-year-old male of mine, like if I go to work and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm booking off holidays because I'm going to Perth to watch wrestling. They're like, what?
I know the feeling.
So it's almost like when wrestling fans meet up or meet each other, it's like, you know what it's like to be a wrestling fan. Like, you like something so much that you don't care that other people are gonna ridicule you for it. You just enjoy it. Mm-hmm. You live for a Tuesday night to get home and watch the Raw replay. Mm-hmm. You live for a Saturday morning to watch SmackDown. You know, all of these things. TNA's back.
So it makes you feel like a child because you don't care when you're a kid that you like wrestling. You tell whoever. But then you go through a period of time where you don't tell anyone. And then you kind of get to an age where you're just like, I don't really give a shit what anyone thinks anyway. But you find another wrestling fan, especially one that you like get along with and you're like, I'm going to cling on to you as tight as I can. Don't get away from me because I need someone to talk about wrestling with also. And the first time that behind the scenes here, guys, the first time that me and Ray ever talked to one another was on an episode of The Crow Jet months and months and months ago. And I'm not even kidding. The moment we stopped recording, Ray looked at me. He looked at me through this camera and he said, no, we got to talk about wrestling a little bit. Because he knew I like wrestling. He follows me on Twitter.
I didn't have a wrestling friend. You need a wrestling friend.
Everyone needs a wrestling friend. So Ray's like, we got to talk about wrestling for a little while. And then we chit-chatted for whatever it was after that recording, 30 minutes or so. And then, as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. It's like,
there's our origin story.
Like, we both like footy, and I work in a male-dominant workplace. So on a Monday morning after the weekend, I can go to work and I can talk about footy till the cows come home because everyone watched it. I hate going to work on a Wednesday and being like, oh, I got no one to say, did you see Raw last night?
People would be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Ray and I will message each other while we're watching the Raw replay because we know we're watching it after work at some point on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, did you watch Raw yet? And I'll be like, not yet. Don't fucking tell me. Don't fucking tell me. And then we just spit chart and yarn and whatever about Raw for fucking ages because we're nerds and we just like that shit. But footy is different because even like I work with a bunch of girls who really don't watch football, but you can still talk about football and they know what you're talking about because it's just within society. You know what I mean? It's just in the air. If I went to any of those girls and talked about professional wrestling, they would look at me in my eyes and say, I have no idea who Kofi Kingston is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's cool. So yeah, anyway, all in all,
I think that's the childlike joy, isn't it? And I think that's why we've become such close friends so quickly. Apart from talking every week like this, and like every
we're contractually obligated to talk to one another every week. We're in this for the long haul, friends.
And like all white males in and around 30, we have to record it and let everyone listen to everything that we say. But it's like that kid thing, right? With wrestling, it's like when you were a kid, you made friends because, I don't know, the person had a yellow shirt on the same day as you.
Yeah, they picked up the same piece of dirt as you did. So.
Yeah, correct. So I think wrestling is that childlike joy. It brings a lot of a lot of childhood nostalgia because we both grew up on it a little bit and a lot really. And, when The Rock comes back, you're just like, and I did say to Mel the other day, well, your bestie. I think that's the first time I've said her name on here. I always try and I'm like, I don't want to say Mel because I don't want to dox her and I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want Ray to yell at me. Nah. So I keep it with my bestie. But, we're breaking the fourth wall here. We're going to have to cut that from the pod. Beep it and it will sound like I said something rude. But I'm about to. So, well. I was saying to your bestie the other day when we were talking and the possibility of The Rock coming to Perth to wrestle a match. And I was like, I said to her, somewhere right now, there is a 12-year-old version of me with his first bloody hard on because he's going to watch The Rock wrestle a match live.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. That's the childhood joy of professional wrestling, and I think that's
there's something special in that.
Yeah, it's the childhood nostalgia, but it's also just the fun of it, and it's stupid. Like I love it. It's meant to be stupid though, and I always come back to people that are like, "Oh, but it's scripted." I'm like, "Yeah, so was Game of Thrones, so was Lord of the Rings." Shit. Like, yeah.
What's your favorite movie? Because it was not real.
Yeah, correct.
You dumbass.
Even if you say The Blind Side, that's got a twist. You haven't seen it, so
The Blind Side.
Yeah,
it's my favorite movie.
What? You've seen no movies, but you've seen The Blind Side.
The Blind.
A fake.
I love Sandra Bullock. I love Sandra Bullock. I love both the Miss Congeniality movies. I'm a very homosexual person, aren't I? I love The Blind Side. What other movies do I like with her in it? Speed. I've watched Speed.
Okay.
So suck an egg.
The Heat. I don't know.
Oh, seen that in the cinemas, my guy. Seen that in the cinemas. Melissa McCarthy.
Me and your bestie are actually planning to go to the cinemas next Friday. Actually. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, the Blind Side, the real life story, had a bit of a twist last year.
Yeah. Made me watch the movie a little different too as well. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
A little bit weird.
Yeah, a little bit of a whoopsie-doopsies.
We were talking about it yesterday at work, and we read up on it, and we were like, ooh, yeah, that one took a turn.
Yeah. Whatever. But it wasn't Sandra Bullock's fault.
No, I don't know. She probably had something to do with it somewhere along the lines.
That bloody Sandra.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? So, off topic now. That's our childhood joy bit gone.
See ya.
Oh, you know how you said you're coming, like we're going to spend some more time together in a week and a half's time now? I was thinking about it today. Pressure's on because the last 2 times that you've come here, or the only 2 times, when you've got back, you've got like a new obsessive show that you've been watching.
I do. Yeah, you've like got me onto shit twice. Yeah. Because you got me onto We Mean Well, which...
Go.
Let's not even get into that. And then I went home on Sunday and I was like, oh, fuck. I had a nice weekend with buds and I'm like, now I'm just on my own. I got to do something. I got to do something with my time. I'm going to watch Taskmaster because I was watching it at Ray's house.
Good show. Good show.
I tried to get into the New Zealand one. Couldn't as much.
Really? I think the New Zealand one's way better.
And then, but also watching so much James Acaster on YouTube. I'm like, fuck's sake.
He's a good
time. Yeah, now the pressure is on, it's not on me.
No,
the
pressure's on me. That's what I mean.
The pressure is not on me at all. The pressure's on you. But you also, of course, everybody knows how much Ray loves Ted Lasso. We did watch an episode and a half of it when I was there. I didn't hate it, but it was very hard to like get into it when I wasn't,
There was a lot going on.
I feel like that's a show. Yeah, there was some background audio happening and stuff. So I feel like if I sat down or if Ray sat me down and there was no distractions, I had like some snacks, put my feet up, I feel like I could watch it. It wasn't that I didn't like it. I just feel like I've got to binge the shit out of that show. Yeah.
You can get through that show pretty quickly.
Yeah, I could imagine you could. So, yeah, I didn't hate it, but Ray's doing his due diligence as Ray himself to get me to watch Ted Lasso. I feel like that's a little bit of a bucket list thing for him now, is to like make me love that show. Maybe not, but
I'm not.
It's probably not. I'm probably exaggerating, you guys, but
it's
just say yes.
It's just a good show. Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I think it's the best show ever made, but that's just my humble opinion.
The only thing that I'll draw the line on is that if you try to make me watch Taylor Swift era's bullshit, I'm out. I will get up off that lounge and I will leave your home.
I set myself a goal to not bring up Taylor this
episode,
I
didn't, so fuck off.
But you brought her up, so it's on you now.
Oh, here we go.
No, not at all.
Actually, you know how much I love 1989? Love that album. Been listening to it. Taylor's version. I've been like, let's smash it. It's been my shower music for the last couple of nights. It's been bumping in my car. I have stated on this show, I've stated to you that I think Wonderland is the best song on that album. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
Well, you're irrelevant in this situation. This is about me. So
sorry.
So I think the best song on it. Actually, no, I'm gonna wait. Hold on. So it's not Wonderland to me. That's number 2. That's the second best song. What do you think I think is the best song on that album?
Let me pull the list up.
Okay.
Let me show my workings out on the way to my answer as well.
Okay.
So I don't think it's going to be
Oh, by the way, I should note that this is Taylor's version of the album because my answer varies from the original recorded version to Taylor's version because there's a difference.
There's a lot of a difference. Taylor's version of 1989. Now, my workings out, I don't think it's going to be a well-known song. I don't think you're going to go with Shake It Off. I don't know what
you would classify.
I don't think you're going to go with like a Shake It Off or a Blank Space or maybe even Style or Bad Blood.
Okay. I'm not going to say whether I'll let you have a final answer at the end, and I'll say whether you're right or wrong. But you just keep spitting ideas out. Throw your thoughts into the air.
I'm going to go with it's either...
Oh, no, I want a blanket answer. I'm not... You know, I just want a straight answer here.
It's hard because my biases are coming into it. I think my final two answers are I Know Places. And it's not Welcome to New York, even though that's a belter. I'm going to say How You Get the Girl.
Wrong. I Know Places is very good, though.
Yeah.
I Know Places is very good. It's all you had to do was stay.
Oh, I was going to go with that one. Is it...
What a bop.
Is it because her voice is a little bit lower now on the stay that you like?
I don't know, but I'm just very... I liked it on the original version, but it's not my favorite on the original version. Also, maybe a bit of a arrogant opinion here. Not arrogant's not the word. Controversial? I don't know. Style, great song on the original version. Trash song on Taylor's version.
Okay.
Trash. She wrecked it. Wrecked that song on Taylor's version. But on the original, sign me up for Style. What a tune. But yeah, all you had to do was, oh my lordy lord, what a banger that is. When that chorus hits, I'm like in the shower, like fucking just flapping around. Oh,
I think we can both agree though that there is a Taylor song making a strong push for the top of Mount Rushmore. It's an absolute jam. Is The Man.
Oh, I love The Man.
Yeah.
I've admitted to you. I hate... Actually, the thing I think I've taken away most out of this friendship that I probably hate the most is how much you've opened me up to Taylor Swift. I can't stand it. Screw you, man.
Yeah, The Man is making a strong charge up Mount Rushmore. I'll give you the hot tip. That's a belter. Let's get off of Taylor Swift. What else has been happening?
Well, that sounds... Wow.
I mean, I would never...
You told me... Hey, oh well. Actually, I don't know if you're aware of this. Actually, this may be new to you. When I got to your house on the weekend, obviously, well, Ray wasn't there. I should just add. When I first got to, Ray was like, "I got to be out for a little bit, but you know, whatever. Your bestie's home, everything's fine." So I got there. First and foremost, I knocked at the door because, you know, hello, anyone there? My bestie walks up to the door and she greets me with, "Hey, bestie." And I'm like, oh, shit, yeah. So we just have a good old yarn for a good 20 minutes before Ray even gets there. There was nothing else to add to that story. It was just, I don't know. Some people probably just think me and you just hang out, but I hang out with my bestie as well.
Because childcare has been all over the place. I had Rory on Friday night instead of my usual Thursday night, so I had to drop him off on Saturday morning, and it was like a last minute thing that I had him on Friday night, so it all got messed around a little bit, which was fine. I don't mind dropping off. I brought lunch home, you know, it was a time. That brings me to another point. I am too young to be called sir by a service worker, especially one that's older than me.
Okay.
I don't want to be called sir. I'm too
do you
young
be
for
called?
that. Daddy. I'm daddy, by the way.
I was about to say Ray's daddy, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want to be called sir. Don't call me sir. I'm not old enough for that at all.
Okay.
Especially when you're older than me. But
isn't it just a polite thing? I've been called sir before, and I look like I'm about 21.
Yeah, but I hate it. I guess. I don't know.
I don't know if 33 is too old to be called sir.
You take that back.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess if the person is older than you, I see what you... Well, yeah. But, I mean,
I still think that people in their 40s would look at me and be like, what does that kid know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Even though I'm a divorced dad with a mortgage. Like, I still feel like people would look at me and be like, the fuck's that kid know?
Yeah, but I mean, well, let's put things into perspective. A 20-year-old would probably call you an old man.
Yeah, and I would slap them in their little dumb faces.
Fuck you, bro. Fuck you, man. You start wearing a backwards cap. You're like, fuck off, man.
Fuck off.
That's fucking whack.
Yeah. Drop that one on your gram.
Yeah. Fuck you, bitch. Oh, shit. Fuck.
Yeah, so I'm too young for that. I brought lunch home. That was fine. We sat and had lunch. I got the whiteboard out and drew my family tree to tell you about my siblings, which took an hour. We needed...
I looked at Ray and I was like looking at him, and I could tell you were looking at me, and bless your heart, you kept explaining, but you knew that I was gone. You can see it in my eyes. I was looking at you right in your eyes, and you were just like, this boy, he's checked out.
Oh, we needed...
about 15 minutes ago.
We needed a pin board and string and pins. We needed to like string map it out. Like, we were looking for the Zodiac killer. Mm-hmm. It was... It needed to be a whole thing, but we got there in the end. It took an hour. We sat, we shared stories of our past.
We did. We had a bit of a... what would the kids call it? We used to call it a D&M. That's what we used to call it in high school, deep and meaningful. We talked about our issues.
Yeah.
That's what we called it when I was at school, but that was quite a while ago. So I don't know what the kids are calling it now.
I don't know what they're calling it now. They would probably say...
I don't know either.
I don't know what they would say.
Yeah, yep, right on.
But I'll still slap their little faces if they call me old.
Fuck you, bitch.
Blah,
yeah,
blah.
We got to know each other, which was nice. And then I don't know really where I was going with that sentence, but
yeah, we got to know each other, and then
fuck yeah,
we went out to dinner with Benny Mac and his lovely partner. And then went to the basketball, then got home, and we started watching something, and then we were like, nah, bruh. We nah-bra'd it and went to bed because...
We watched We Mean Well for a minute.
Yeah, I guess so. And then we went to bed.
But then we're all dead, and I was like, yeah. And then it was frightening. My life flashed before my eyes. I woke up in the middle of the night, not in my own home, which is always disorienting because you're like, where am I? And there was a spider in my bed. It was on me. And I was like, holy fucking shit. The first thing I realized is I don't want to make any noise because it's 2 a.m. and I'm not sleeping in my own house. There's other people in this house. And I wouldn't want Ray and my bestie to be like, what the fuck is going on in that room? So I didn't make any noise. I didn't wake you guys up. So must have been quiet. And then I got my shoe and I was like, sorry, bud, it's time to take a trip to the, it's time to go. So I killed him, then went back to sleep, then like stumbled out sometime in the morning. But there was a spider in my bed. It was frightening. Like I said at the start of this, every time I seem to come to your house, I just bring the bad weather with me. So, you know, as a man who can't swim, Ray and Mel really want me to get in their pool. I'm not mad that it's been raining both times.
I was just looking outside. I was like, I might jump in now. I'm sweating it up a storm, but I'm probably not going to because it's almost 9 o'clock.
That's bedtime.
Yeah, exactly. So that brought up a little story. I mean, I think you wrote it down, but I'm good enough to bring it up myself. So I've told you that I don't dream, right? I rarely ever dream. But what I do is sometimes I'll wake up thinking something. So I must have had a dream about it, but it's just so set in my head that I act upon it. I do something about it. So your bestie gave an example the other day of like, the other night, I woke up and I was like convinced that there was spiders all over the curtains. to the point where I went to the cupboard, got the fly spray out, and came back in and sprayed all the spiders that I thought were there all over the cupboard, all the curtains.
I lost my shit at this story on the weekend.
But then I was giving examples of previous times I've done it where I woke up and was convinced that I was covered head to toe in mosquito bites. And I was itchy as I couldn't get back to sleep because I was so itchy from these mosquito bites. So I was I got to put something on them. And the only thing I had in my room was deep heat. So I lathered myself head to toe in deep heat and woke up in the morning stinking of deep heat with no mosquito bites on me at all.
I'm just picturing you rubbing the deep heat all over your body.
Do you know what, though? I'm still convinced that they were there. So, maybe deep heat's the cure to mosquito bites, and we just don't know. Maybe I'll try it next time.
That's a weird logic. I'm not gonna say yes or no because I honestly don't know if the logic tracks, but you're basing it off of you rubbing yourself in deep heat.
Yeah. And then, the last example I could remember is I was staying at my auntie's house and I woke up and I thought the windows had blown in and that the curtains were about to blow away and that my auntie would be absolutely pissed at me if I lost her curtains. So I tied them to the bed head. I woke up in the morning and all the curtains were double knotted on the bed head. Yeah. So I don't dream, but I must do and just don't remember it because I wake up convinced of stuff.
You might be just a person that you might dream and just don't remember it. That actually brings up the reason I was looking at my phone is because I wrote down a bunch of stuff today. Well, not today, over the last few days. And I had a dream.
Oh yeah.
And homeboy, you were in it.
Okay.
You were in it. It was a weird dream. It wasn't
hit me.
Calm down. It wasn't all right. So we were recording. We were together. We weren't from memory or what I can remember of this dream. It wasn't this setting. We were in some kind of a room. We're going to record. You were wearing really big sunglasses for some reason. Big, it looked like you were Stevie Wonder. You had blind man sunglasses on. I don't know why. We didn't bring it up. We tried to record, but for some reason it didn't work. It was just this isn't working. We're starting to get a bit PO'd at one another because it wasn't working. So let's just do this tomorrow. And we were yeah, cool. No worries. So I don't remember the in-betweens of the, I kind of woke up and it was 2 a.m. and I was I'm going to, because this is wild.
Yeah.
Because it gets weird.
Okay.
So we go to record the next day. But then all of a sudden you're we can't record today. We can't record today. You didn't have the sunglasses on at this point.
Well, that's why we couldn't record.
Anyway, so we can't record today. And we're why? You're we have to defend the tag team titles. And I was
naturally.
Shit, yeah, we do. Then all of a sudden it went outside, but we were on a trampoline defending the tag team titles.
Against the young Hardy brothers?
I don't know who we were I can't think of who we were working, but we were on a trampoline together defending that we had the tag titles in tow. We were fully clothed from my understanding. We weren't in wrestling gear.
I feel like our wrestling attire would be fully clothed.
Yeah, I'm not showing off this bod to anybody.
No, I'm not William Regaling this shit.
No, I'm not doing that at all. So yeah, we couldn't record. So all in the dream, big sunglasses, big huge sunglasses. So I feel like you need to start rocking those because I reckon you could rock it.
Yeah.
And then we can't record apparently on certain days because we got to defend those tag team titles. What a weird dream to have.
Yeah, tell me about it. You know what I'm going to do though? What does big sunglasses mean in a dream? Because that feels like a big part of the dream. So it's oh, look, hang on. I got a one-hand type this. What does...
He's looking it up here, friends. If you're not watching on YouTube, Ray's he's got his... He's Googling. This is why, hey, anyone listening out there, if you have producery vibes, you wanna get in on this, You could be our person that's off camera. That's just we ask questions sometimes, and
we
then
would
you
love
can
that.
tell us the answers.
Yeah, we would
love that. Anyone with editing skills want to do some editing as well? Hit me and or Ray up, and we'll talk to you. We're being fucking serious too.
Yeah,
this would be fun. We could just call in a person, and be like, "Hey, Google this shit for us," so
correct.
then we can just keep chit chatting.
I know Riverside has the producer thing where they can come in and out.
It does.
So,
It does.
So
if anyone would like to do that, if anyone's listening to this and thinks I could do that, you don't have to be on camera. You don't even really have to talk that much. You just have to kind of make sure the show runs smoothly, and then maybe edit it together if we get to that stage. But you just got to really know how to use Google.
I found that sunglasses were strongly associated with glamour and power of modern technology, control of emotion, and control of the body. That doesn't make any sense. Hang on. Dream interpretation.
Please explain that to me.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But yes,
okay,
I agree with you wholeheartedly. If you want to be I'm not fucking... sunglasses, viewing things in an altered way due to perceptions, shading, protecting yourself, distancing from social interactions, a desire for privacy, mystery, anonymity. That was a good word to say. I didn't think I was going to get that one out. Yeah, but I don't know. Dream interpretations are a lot.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I don't understand.
I'm going to type it in dream and friend.
Friend and dream. Friend wearing sunglasses.
Sunglasses.
Mm-hmm. 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 Well, while you're doing that, we have to bring up the fact that I have realized in our time together that you say things sometimes and I don't understand what any of it means. And I've realized how much of a fucking idiot I am. And I'm just like, whoa. I knew that I wasn't the smartest. What do you say? Like the smartest tool in the shelf, or no, the sharpest, whatever the fuck the saying is. What's the saying?
I think you're proving it, but
whatever.
I can't find anything.
Whatever the fucking whatever the fuck the saying is, the sharpest. What is it? The sharpest tool in the box or something? Yeah, that one. I knew that I wasn't, but I didn't realize how much I wasn't until you say some stuff sometimes, and I go, yeah, and then people notice that I'm going, yeah, and they're like, we can see it on your face. You have no earthly idea of what he just said to you. And I'm like, I can't lie because I don't half the time, but I try to make it like I am, which is nice. But yeah, you've made me realize how much of an idiot I actually am.
I don't realize I'm saying it either half the time. Like something will just trigger in my mind and I'll be like, oh yeah, I know that. And then someone...
Yeah, we get it, Ray. You're smart. But sometimes it's not hard for you.
Sometimes some people ask me, how do you know that? I'm like, I don't know. I don't actually know how I know that. But I do. I'm not sure how, though. But it's weird.
I can't relate.
It's just
I don't
like...
know anything.
Lots of the stuff I can't just recall off the top of my head and just list off 100 facts. But if you say something that triggers that in my mind, it'll come to the front of my mind and I'll be like, there it is. I'll know the answer to that. Like at when we went with the project to a quiz night and our table only got like 4 questions wrong the whole night. Because I just know shit. I don't know how I know it either.
You wouldn't like me on a quiz night, I can tell you that. We should do a quiz. Me versus you. And we should have categories where it's like smart stuff and then not smart stuff. And then you get all those fucking good, hard hitting questions right, and I'll get the shit that you wouldn't have any clue of.
We need to get someone on here to be a quiz master.
Yeah. Your bestie would be a good person for that, actually.
Yeah, I
don't think bestie, I mean, not your bestie.
I don't think she would do this. No,
she wouldn't. But I reckon she would be a good, because I mean, she's got her guy right here, and then Ray.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say actually before I was gonna say, said I made us breakfast on Sunday morning while we watched
Oh,
Taskmaster.
here we go.
And then see how
he's
quickly...
going to out me.
No, but I didn't make breakfast at all.
You didn't.
No, your bestie made breakfast and I just tried to claim the glory.
Shit. I still gave you the credit.
Did you? I did. I think
I
just
come up
put
here.
it together.
I said thanks for breakfast, Ray.
As usual around here, I didn't do a lot, but...
By the way, at the start of this episode, before we went to the question, you said you were going to say something, and I don't know if you actually said it or not. You said
it was about
me.
About me showing you stuff every time you come here that you go home and binge.
Right, yes.
So,
duh. Okay.
And that I need to
got it.
come up with my next one for the next time you're here.
I'll be waiting. You've only got a little bit of time.
Have we spoken about this before? But since you were down here and we were watching Taskmaster, which is, if you haven't seen Taskmaster before, it's a show that each season gets a cast of 5 comedians or, comedy actors, mostly comedians, on and puts them through a series of strange tasks under time constraints to see how they do. Hilarity usually ensues because every one of them thinks about something in a different way, and they'll set a task for 5 people and they'll get 5 different solutions to the problem of the task, which is great. And it's always comedians, but it got me thinking, have we spoken about our favourite comedians, who we like?
I don't know.
Because I love comedy.
I feel like we have.
Yeah. I guess we have.
I don't know. Have we? It doesn't matter. We can talk about it again. I don't give a fuck. Because we're 19 episodes deep. Who cares?
I introduced you to James Acaster on there.
Funny guy.
Real funny guy. Great book. If you want a good audio book,
if I ever learn how to read, I'll read it.
No, this one you need to listen to as an audio book because he reads it.
Does he read? Okay, he reads it.
Yeah.
Good.
So James Acaster's Scrapes, great audiobook. If you've got Spotify, now that they've got audiobooks on there, get on that.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to do that.
That's a great book.
I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to get on that tonight, and I'm going to sit there in the dark in my bed, and I'm going to listen. He can serenade me to sleep.
Yeah. That is a great book.
By the way, friends, I said this out loud to Ray and my bestie. Don't know why I'm attracted to him, but I am.
Yeah,
he's a scrawny little man.
But he's just funny.
He's very funny.
Yeah, so his book of Scrapes are all true stories about his life where he makes his decision, and you can see why he made his decision, but it just leads to hilarity and disaster every time, which is funny. I've listened to that book 3 times, I reckon. It's just fun. So that one is that. I think he's one of my favorites. I just like fun comedians. I don't want you to try change my life by perspective or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I think that's got its place, but I just want to laugh. I don't care about a political message through my comedy. Just make me laugh.
Fucking tell him, Ray. Go off.
Oh,
all right.
I don't mind it. Every now and then a clever political joke can very much make me laugh, but for most of the time,
but it's just like that's just the shit that everybody does now, because it's like I'll pick a side, and then I'll say a joke about the other side, and everyone will laugh. And sure, it works to a certain degree. I get it. I get the fucking aesthetic of it, but whatever.
Yeah, there's a bit. Okay, we're back.
Did someone's internet die?
Yes, it did. Didn't it?
Now, which person was it? I knew I was about to call you Raymond. Raymond? Was it yours?
Yes,
was it yours,
mine.
Raymond?
It was, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Friggin' internet, man. So.
One day when I move from this godforsaken town, we may not have to do this over the internet. Who knows?
Yeah, but who knows? Friggin' hot in here.
Yeah. Okay, Raymond, pick up where you left off. You were having a good old yarn though. Fuck me.
Oh, you should have heard the story I told.
I could imagine it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think what I was saying is the fact that the bit of the comedy of James Acaster that I love, as to what incorporates what I love about him, is he tells this bit in his comedy special on Netflix where he's like, when I was a kid, all I wanted to be when I grew up was an undercover cop. But I couldn't tell anybody that, because if I ever became an undercover cop and I joined a gang, people would be like, oh, really? He always wanted to be an undercover cop when he grew up. So I told everyone I really wanted to be a drug dealer when I grew up. So when I joined the gang, my cover wasn't blown. I was in deep already. And it's just like...
That's good stuff.
It doesn't.
He
need
is a
to
very
be
funny person. Wow.
It doesn't need to be the truth. Like, he didn't think that as a kid. It doesn't need to be the truth. It just needs to be funny. Just make me laugh.
Yep.
Like, sometimes the truth can be funny. Like, a good old story with a punchline, like the day that I had to explain to my mum as a 32-year-old why I only put petrol into my car until I'm bored. Like, you try to explain that to your parents. And yeah. Anyway, you can really see the disappointment or the where did I go wrong look in your parents' face when you try to explain that.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like I said before, it's very much like it's easy to just pick a side and then get the laugh. And like we said, that has a place and it will probably always have a place. But it is funny when comedy is actually just being jokes and just stories, and it doesn't have to be like, I don't know, not picking fun at things, because I think that's fun. It's just, I don't know, the context of it is always like that. Like, probably not the perfect person to be the example of this, but I always grew up loving Chelsea Handler. But she is very much like that. That's very much just like, I'm going to pick a side and I'm going to fucking...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But she is funny. Probably don't like her as much as I used to, but she's always been funny to me and stuff like that. But yeah, I've never really... I think like we have talked about this before, because I think I've said this in the past that I've never really been one for stand-up comedy. I've never been one to watch stand-up shows and
I
whatever.
love stand-up.
But I don't dislike it. It's just never been something that I've really associated with.
Yeah,
sure,
I'll put the James Acaster's got a series of 4 comedy specials on Netflix. I'll put them on for bed, and just because it's just fun. It's, you know. I just
good old bed shows. There's ones you just put on. And it doesn't matter if you fall asleep because you've either seen it before or you don't really care enough. It's just like good. It's good viewing to go to sleep with.
Yeah.
Although I can't sleep with the television on.
Oh, I do. I put it on a sleep timer and I shouldn't. But
it's not good for you, I don't think.
Nah, probably
but what
not.
is?
Nothing's good for you.
What is good for you? I've been eating lettuce for the last few days and it's not processing right through my body, and sometimes it comes out as lettuce. When I take a shit.
We love a good shit chat around here, don't we?
I fucking love talking about doing a poo.
Yeah, it really puts some people offside.
No, well, here's the thing, Ray. We all do it. If you don't shit,
everyone poos.
You'll die. So it's the one thing we all have in common, that we all take a poo. We're all going to die, and we all can take a poo.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, if you don't do one of those things will happen.
Yeah. And subsequently... if one of those things happens unexpectedly, you'll probably do the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 And I know exactly what you're talking about, which is weird for me to understand what you're talking about. But I get it. Yep. So don't know how we come across poo again, but whatever. Oh, lettuce. Right. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So do what you want.
Poo where you want to poo.
Yeah, do a shit where you want to do a shit, and eat what you want to eat, and sleep where you want to sleep with what on the Fucking hell, that was a sentence, wasn't it?
You really nailed that one.
Got that there, and fucking Jesus Christ.
I think we should finish up for tonight, I reckon.
Yeah.
This last little bit's turned to chaos, so who knows how the edit's going to turn out. It's going to take me a little bit longer, and both of us a little bit longer.
Hey, want to know a little bit of a behind the scenes thing here, friends? So I edit the video version and Ray edits the audio version. So I don't know because I find it, I personally don't listen to myself back all that much or really watch my stuff too much. I get a little bit too nitpicky. Yeah. But I know you listen to the show back from my understanding. So I don't know if there really is too much difference between the video version and the audio version. So there might be little bits and pieces that you get in the video version that you may not get in the audio version, and vice versa if we decide to just tidy up the edges a little bit. But I don't do a lot of editing of the actual
neither do I.
Meat and potatoes of the show, you know what I'm saying?
Neither do I. There'll be a bit this time.
There'll have to be. Because otherwise we'll have a recording of Ray going away and me just going, huh? Is he coming back? Yeah, is he coming back?
That'll be good.
Is he coming back?
That'll be good viewing.
And then I think I messaged you in the end of that recording. I just simply said to Ray, "Oh no."
Yeah.
It's pretty much all I had to say. And he was like, "Fuck's sake. Here we go."
Yeah.
But
anyway,
well, it is what it is, right?
Watch me hit this time. Ready? A2O podcast on all your socials. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram now. Go follow us there if you haven't already. We're on Twitter. Get around us. Share our post. Tell your friends about us. Hit us up on Apple or Spotify. I think I'm gone again. Oh, my screen just went totally blank and asked me to do something. I had a perfect run going there.
You were going so well. You were going so fucking well, Ray. I was amazed with the absolute. You just unleashed some verbal fuckness that was so good that I was just sitting here in amazement, and then you just had your computer had to yell at you and stop you. You didn't even stutter. You didn't even stutter.
Let's take two, but I'm not going to edit out the first one.
We're not editing that.
Okay. A2O podcast on all your social medias. We're on TikTok and Instagram now. Go follow us. Go share us. Tell your friends about us. We're still on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it if you're fancy. Go hit us up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Like, subscribe, hit follow, hit 5-star review, leave a comment. Watch the YouTube version. Watch Josh's YouTube stuff on his Twitch at JoshRobinson00. Follow his Twitter, follow my Twitter, follow my Instagram, follow me to work if you want. It'll be pretty boring, but that's it.
That was good. That was good. Yeah. I feel like you were on more of a roll with your first one, but you fucking come back around there. They don't call it a comeback for nothing, do they?
That was a Kim Kardashian comeback, that one.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'll say.
All right. We'll speak to you next time.
We'll be out of here. Maybe with a quiz next week. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Probably not. Who knows? Anyway,
bye.
Bye. Hell yeah. We got